Good morning and welcome to Sunday football in the USFFL playoffs. Today we have a wild card doubleheader, both action from each conference. In the AFC, we've got the division-winning Houston Texans at home against the Denver Broncos. Winner of that game will travel to Arrowhead to meet the Chiefs. And then we've also got the Minnesota Vikings traveling east. They'll be taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. If the Vikings win that game, they'll be heading to Green Bay to take on the Packers. That's doubleheader action coming up for you right now. Let's get started. All right, let's get on out to the stadiums. I know one game is already underway. We'll be the first to acknowledge. I'm excited to call these games. I've had a good time with the playoffs this year. Some really good games. It's going to be fun to see how it all ends up shaking out. So we are heading out to Houston for the Texans and Broncos right now. Eagles and Vikings should be kicking off any second. We're going to do our best today to be really good at covering both games as well as we can, keeping respect for both. Two playoff games, we want to make sure both get as much coverage as possible. When they run simultaneous, we'll have to do the best we can. Games that are closer, I'll be leaning towards that. Let's see what happens. So we start in the AFC. Coming up live on your screen right now, you should see Denver Broncos and Houston Texans. Looks like the Texans, after the opening kick, begin at their 29. Just wish both coaches good luck. The Texans are coached by Rudy Gobin. It's his third, I believe, year in the USFFL. And the Broncos are coached by David Kukofka, who's been around for quite a while, maybe a decade. David would know better than me. See if the other game is posted yet. It is not. I also wanted to see, how did Dennis, when he was broadcasting Chiefs Chargers last night, had an interesting setup on his thing that I kind of liked, although I don't want to put it up here because I want to see. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Texans are going to come out starting in the blocking back set. Let's take a look at injuries. Ouch. Nico Collins is hurt for this game, as well as John Mechie. And I think Mechie is a receiver as well. So with two of those out, that could be impactful. Taking a look at that now. Yeah, Nico Collins carded at over 1,000 yards receiving on 68 catches, 14.8. It's a good card. So that's a big loss for sure. And indeed, John Mechie is an extra receiver, carded at 24 catches. So down a couple of wide receivers in this matchup are Rudy Gobin and the Texans. This game, we're still waiting for the first offensive play as the defensive coach is aligning his lineups. Again, the winner of this game will head to Kansas City, take on the commissioner's team, Kansas City Chiefs. Chargers gave the Chiefs a good run last night. Like all of our games, or most anyway, it came down to the end, and Chiefs got the biggest break they needed near the end, which was a fumble on a kick. And the Chiefs got the winning touchdown on a short field. Taking a look at the brackets here. I posted these publicly this morning. Bengals beat the 2 seed in overtime, 34-31. Impressive win in Buffalo. And that's going to set up for them a third match with the Steelers. Looking forward to that one. And as you can see, Chiefs play the winner of the game we're setting up to watch now. On the NFC side, we're getting ready for Vikings-Eagles, as you can see right here. Two-seeded Eagles and seven-seeded Vikings. If the Vikings win that game, they actually replace Detroit up top, up here. Vikings as the 7 seed would then be a lower seed than the 5-seeded Lions and would thus have to play the Packers. Lions in that scenario would move down here and they would face the Saints. So the Lions are waiting to find out if they play the Packers or the Saints right now. It'd be interesting to talk to Coach and say, Mr. Emerson, who would you prefer to play? Not sure you'd get an honest answer come playoff time. 1st and 10 at the 29. Texans about to start the drive. Broncos in a 3-4. Broncos have great outside linebackers. Jonathan Cooper, 12-star 1 blitzer. And Nick Bonito, 12-star 5 blitzer. Bonito is a 6 in coverage. A 4 against the run. And even though Jonathan Cooper is a 0 in coverage and vulnerable to those halfback calls, he's good against the run if he's going to stuff run. So Broncos are tough defensively. And we have our first play of the game. Texans start with a pitch out, going to Mixon, and he's going to get 5 yards. That play attacked the defensive right end of Denver, John Franklin Myers, 4 on the white die, good enough to beat him for that run, 2nd and 5. Base run set again, and here's an inside handoff. Joe Mixon right up the middle. Defense called run, so a good call there. Gain of just 1 on the play. Kind of the same result as the first down play where white die of 4. This time it wasn't good enough to beat the 4 nose tackle and just a yard. So 3rd and 4 here. 2 tight ends set now for the Texans. Back to pass, C.J. Stroud. He's looking deep. He's got an empty zone. To the defensive card it goes, and incomplete. Stroud had a lot of chances there on that defensive card, but rolled that 7. Interception split roll, 2 through 5. Misses it. 4th and 4, and it's a quick 3 and out. The Texans are going to punt. Tommy Townsend out and a bad roll. That's not a good punt. 38 yards. Fielded at the 32 by Marvin Mims, and he's going to fair catch it right there. Mims a scary returner. He's got a plus 61 and a plus 26 on his card. Broncos take over now. First drive of the game for them at their own 27. Bo Nix at quarterback. Javonte Williams, the blocking back, set as your tailback. Here's a flat pass. This goes to Marvin Mims, and that's going to be 3-yard completion. Wow, that was interesting. Had the wrong column. All kinds of completions. Bo Nix gets his interception split roll and almost got it. 2 through 3 and 12. 3-yard gain starts this game for the Broncos. 2nd and 7. Estime in at tailback. 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. And another flat pass to Mims. You're going to see a lot of that. He's A-rated yak. This goes to defensive card, receiver opportunity, and Mims cannot pull it in. Out on his right column, 3rd and 7. The Broncos are going to split out 4 wides. Houston defense is rated good against the run and average to good against the pass. Nickel set here from the Texans. Back to pass. Bo Nix scans, looking short. He's looking at a double-teamed receiver. He's going to dump it off instead in the flat, and on this flush, he's going right back to Mims for a third straight time. 6 on the white die. Mims with the catch and run out across midfield to the 47 of the Texans. 23-yard pickup delivered by that wild card die. 6 on the white die. Is it just me, or does sometimes it feel like the 6 on the white die for flat passes is one of the biggest determiners in a game? Back to pass, looking deep, Cortland Sutton, empty zone, and Nix has got him. Deep ball to Sutton. He is going to be brought down at the 14-yard line. 33-yard deep ball from Bo Nix to Cortland Sutton, and the Broncos immediately into the red zone. Safety up close for the Texans, shows blitz. Here's a look-in pass, 2-man in zone, and it's going to be incomplete. Quarterback Card delivered a receiver opportunity, and Javonte Williams could not bring it in. 2nd and 10 at the 14. Getting ready with that Eagles-Vikings number. Conclusion of this drive, we'll go see what's going on with the NFC game that has apparently begun. 3 wide receivers out for the Broncos. 2 running back set. Jaleel McLaughlin. Speedy one in the backfield, and indeed a pitch out to him. Defense looked past. McLaughlin good on his card, gets it to his card, and he's got a good run toward the goal line, and he is going to be in for a touchdown. There are no flags. Broncos score first. Jaleel McLaughlin came in, and his end run card has short gains on 7, 8, 9. Extra point, Will Lutz is up and good. There is a penalty on that PAT. It's against Denver. We'll see if the Texans coach wants to take that on the kickoff or make him re-kick. Extra point reads automatic on the card as I'm looking at it, so I'd probably take it on the kickoff. And he will. 10:30 to go, first quarter. Both teams have had a drive. The Broncos, impressive. They're up 7-0 on the road in Houston. Let's go ahead and get out now to NFC action. See what's going on there. And I should be checking on my phone to make sure this broadcast is not an epic fail. That it's coming through. All right, here we go. Flat pass for the Eagles, and that's a catch and run to take them across midfield. Saquon Barkley got that 10-yard reception. Eagles 1st and 10 at the Minnesota 46. 9:36 to go. Looks like the Vikings had the first possession, got a couple of first downs, but had to punt. This drive for Philadelphia began at their 16-yard line. Back to pass, short, and that's caught. Jahan Dotson, and the Eagles now in field goal range at the Minnesota 34. Eagles are coached by Tim Hay. Vikings are coached by Pete Quagliarini, former NFL employee. Back to pass, defense of the Vikings looking run, but it's short again. And this one's going to Dallas Goedert. This one goes to the defensive card, and that's going to be caught by Goedert. That's 13 yards down to the 21. Eagles now on the fringe of the red zone. Vikings are excellent rated against the run and average against the pass. So a strong defense for Minnesota. 3 wide receivers split out here. Here's a look-in pass. This goes to Devontae Smith. Linebacker is home. to the defensive card and nothing doing. There's a penalty, however. And actually, offsetting penalties. We're going to replay this down. So again, 1st and 10. First and 10. And there's the validation that I'm coming through. Turn the volume down. Just wanted to make sure. Don't want to find out in the fourth quarter nobody was able to hear what I'm saying. 3 wide receivers split out. Here's a key on Barkley, but it's a look-in pass yet again, right back to Devontae Smith. So a wrong opportunity, but it goes to the defensive card. Receiver result, and it's a catch and run, Devontae, and he's got another first down. Move the sticks. 1st and 10 at the 11. Vikings officially pierce the red zone. Safety up close. He's showing blitz. Barkley in a blocking back set. Whoop. I accidentally switched games. Apologies. Here we go. Here's a screen pass to Barkley, and on a yak opportunity for him. Smart call at the 11. Catch, run, Barkley toward the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles. Saquon Barkley taking advantage of his yak rating. And the Eagles on their opening drive are into the end zone. Extra point. Jake Elliott is up and good. And at the 7:30 mark of the first quarter, Eagles at home treating their fans. They're up on many. 7-0. We mentioned Barkley's yak rating. It is a B. Vikings take the kick out to the 21. Not a good kick return. Cam Akers. Vikings will begin right there. Let's take a look over in AFC action, and we have an extra point. Joe Mixon got a 4-yard touchdown run. Texans about to tie this game up. Extra point up and good, and indeed we are tied in Houston. Broncos and Texans 7-7. Kick return for the Broncos. It's Marvin Mims, and he is out to the 29. That drive for the Texans, 10 plays, 65 yards. Correction, 70 net yards, 5 first downs. So a solid drive by Coach Rudy Gobin against a good defense in the Broncos, and he's tied up that game. Broncos begin from their 29. Here's a look-in pass. Javonte Williams, the catch, run, and big yardage. Gain of 23. 6 on the white die. Sent that one to the zero-man column, and you experienced players know the rest. As the Broncos quickly cross midfield. They're 1st and 10 at the Houston 48. Vikings are across midfield. We'll check back there in a second. Here's an off-tackle run. Javonte Williams, good call for the defense, and there's going to be a 1-yard loss. Linebacker Azeez Al-Shahir on the tackle of Williams. It was a short yardage defensive call, so a full-on sellout against the run. Looks like the Broncos coach is acknowledging that he needs to make another change in his lineup. So let's get over to the NFC again. 3rd and 5 for Minnesota. They're at the Philly 33, so they're in field goal range. We'll look into that. 3 wide receivers split out. Tailback is Aaron Jones. From right here, a field goal is 2-8 and 12. Not bad odds for Will Reichard. Here's a quick slant over the middle to Josh Oliver on 3rd and 5. Linebacker is home. Darnold on his card. The catch, and it's going to be enough for a first down. Sam Darnold. hooked up with Josh Oliver, and it's 1st and 10. Vikes at the 27. Injury on the play, however, is Jordan Addison. That's a strong receiver. Number 2 man in that lineup. Addison only out for the remainder of the first half. You're looking at the remaining injuries on the screen right now. Here's an off-tackle run to Aaron Jones, and he's going to lose a couple. So 2nd and 12. Vikings are without Cameron Bynum. And again, Jordan Addison, who we just mentioned. The Eagles are without Brandon Graham for what looks to be the rest of the playoffs, really. Without Cameron Jurgens and without E.J. Jenkins for 11 more weeks. So that would be the rest of the playoffs and then some. 2nd and 12 for the Vikings. Safety for the Eagles is up close, showing blitz. Vikings trail 7-0, but they're on the move. Here's a short pass to T.J. Hawkinson. Darnold gets rid of it, and no, he's going to scramble. Going to be a must run instead. And he's going to get just 3 yards to the right side, and it's going to set up 3rd and 9. So that'll at least get the Vikings to a space where any short pass would get you the first down here on 3rd and 9. 3 wide receivers split out. And without Addison, Justin Jefferson is supported by Jalen Naylor and Trent Sherfield. Nickel setup for the Eagles, and that safety is showing blitz. So a little added pressure from Reed Blankenship. Back to pass. Darnold looking short. Avoids the pressure, gets rid of it. Split roll opportunity incomplete. Josh Oliver had a 2 through 5, 11 and 12 on the defensive split. Couldn't get it. 4th and 9 from the 26. From right here, 2 to 8 and 12. Will Reichard to get the Vikings on the board. The kick is up, and it is good. That kick actually got a 5-yard boost forward into the automatic range. 2 through 10 is what it ended up being. So it's 7-3 now. Eagles are ahead of the Vikings. They'll take over now. The Eagles will at their own 35 with that 4-point lead, 3 minutes to go, first quarter. And it appears we lost connection to the AFC game. Or it dropped, one of the two. Let's get that back up. All right, we'll check back there in a minute and see if that comes up. Eagles now 1st and 5 at their 40, so they had a 5-yard encroachment against the Viking defense. 1st and 5, there's an inside handoff to Saquon Barkley. Barkley goes to the defensive card, and he's got a nice run of 12 yards. Again, Vikings have an excellent run defense. The card actually read +2, but there were a couple of boxes there. So not having the standard amount of linebackers in that look-in zone behind that run zone is what sprang that for a first down. Eagles now in Vikings territory at the 48. Back to pass, Hurts. Looking deep. Goes to Devontae Smith. Receiver opportunity, and he cannot bring it in. Devontae has got receptions on 7. 10, 11, and 12. He rolled a 6. 2nd and 10. I like the call, though. I think it's important. You got to throw long no matter what team you're playing and whatever matchup at least once in a while. Keep your opponent offense or keep your opponent honest. I apologize. 4 wide receivers split out now for Philly. Full spread formation, and it's an off tackle. Handoff. Saquon Barkley. Defense guessing pass. Barkley wanting his card and getting his card for a short gain. Saquon Barkley, good for 15. I said he wanted his card and got it. It actually went to the right column. One on the white die. Took that to the right column. And Barkley didn't care. Got a short gain nonetheless. New set of downs for the Eagles at the 33. The AFC game fell apart again. Let's see. New game number? Nope. We'll try again in a second here. Back to pass. Short. And there's a first down throw for Hurts. Hooking up with Jahan Dotson. And the Eagles now at the 21. They'll stay in the 3 wide receiver formation. Nine first downs now in the first quarter for the Philly offense. Vikings crash run defense, but it's a flat pass. This goes to Devontae Smith. Eagles looking to get it on the offensive card. They do. Hurts sets up a really nice yak opportunity for his receiver, but nothing extra there. 4 yards is going to be the completion. Give all that to Hurts in his wrong column. Devontae Smith, a C-rated yak, didn't get a good roll there. 2nd down and 6. In the red zone now for the second time are the Eagles. They got a touchdown on their first trip. Coach Quagliarini looking to keep the Eagles out of the end zone and keep this a 1-score game. NFC wildcard action. Vikings, if they win, would travel to play the Packers in the divisional round. Eagles, if they win, would host the Saints. 2nd and 6. Here's a look-in pass. This is going to the tailback, Barkley. 0-rated linebacker in the middle there. And 6 on the white die. Catch and run. Barkley inside the 5, and it's going to be 1st and goal for the Eagles at the 4-yard line. Pickup of 13 as we reach the end of the first quarter in Philly. Eagles are on top, 7-3 and knocking on the door. Full house set. Safety for the Vikings up close, showing blitz. Defense guesses run. Hurts back to pass. Looking short. Throws short to the defensive card. Receiver opportunity for his tight end. It's caught. Touchdown Goddard. There is a flag. And it is against the Eagles. They are flagged for holding and back them up. Wipe away the touchdown. And it's now 1st and goal back at the 14. Jalen Hurts, a good start to this game. 9 for 11, 108. Here's an off-tackle left side. Saquon Barkley. Defense guessed run, and he's going to plow ahead with 6 yards. 2nd and goal at the 8. Beat the nose tackle with a 6 on the white die. Base run set, blocking back here for the Eagles. 3-4 blitz Vikings. Back to pass. Defense did guess pass. Hurts looking short. Goes to Grant Calcaterra, I apologize, to the defensive card. Caught. Touchdown. +10 is the result in the 4-man column for the Vikings. Defensive card. 2nd touchdown of the first half for Jalen Hurts. He's 10 of 12 now. Extra point, Jake Elliott is up and good. And at the 13:48 mark of the second quarter, Eagles out on top 14-3. Let's try one more time on that AFC playoff game. There we are. So it is back up here. 12 minutes left in the second quarter. And the Texans are now up 14-10. I think maybe they just got a touchdown. Looks like the Broncos got a field goal and the Texans a touchdown since last we were here. And indeed, 26-yard touchdown pass just moments ago. C.J. Stroud to Tank Dell. That's twice we've popped in, just missing a touchdown from the Texans. Maybe the Texans would prefer I not watch so they can get their touchdowns in. So that touchdown drive by the Texans, pretty quick one. 6 plays, 70 yards, 3 first downs, and the 26-yard TD strike from C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud. So the Broncos now begin at the 31-yard line. Look in pass, caught Javonte Williams, and he's got first down yardage. Pickup of 13 for Denver. Two tight end set now for Coach Kukafka. And an off-tackle run. Javonte Williams gets the wrong column he wants, and he's got 5 yards. Second and 5 now. Denver just shy of midfield. Vikings, let's stay here real quick. They've just crossed midfield. They've got a big 3rd and 12 at the Eagles' 43. So this is a big play here in the second quarter. 3 wide receivers split out of the shotgun. Here's a look-in pass. 6-rated linebacker stayed home, so nice call for the Eagles. This goes to Aaron Jones. And it's incomplete. I'm sorry, it's complete for 6 yards. 4th and 6 from the 37. Vikings going to try a 53-yard field goal. It is up, and it is no good. And so, Eagles retain their 11-point lead. They're up 14-3, and the Eagles will now take over at their own 44. Coach Tim Hay in good shape early at home in that NFC wild card. Let's get back out to the AFC now. Broncos with a 2nd and 10, now in Houston territory at the 44. 3 wide receiver formation. Mims is in the slot. Don't forget his A-rated yak. Nickel defense here for the Texans. They're up by 4. The snap. Nix back to pass. Scans the field. A lot of receivers doubled. He's looking short, but he's flush. The quarterback is, and he's dumping it off to his tailback. In the flat now to Williams, and he's going to get 4. And that is going to make it 3rd and 6 for the Broncos at the 40-yard line. 4 wide receivers split out. Field goal range begins at the 38, so they're not there yet. Nickel defense from the Texans. Here's an end run to Bo Nix. Gets it on his right column and is going to lose 6 yards. There were 3 receivers in the formation, and a 1 on the white die has dropped the Broncos back 6 yards rather than moving them into field goal range. So bad break on that end run call to the quarterback, and here comes the punter. Coffin corner from Riley Dixon, and it doesn't get out of bounds. In fact, it's going to be fielded at the 19 and nothing on the return by Steven Sims. So 8:24 to go, second quarter. Texans up 14-10. They'll take over possession now at their 20. And they also come out with 3 wide receivers on the field. Broncos in a nickel. And it's a first down run and a 5-yard pickup. Joe Mixon right up the middle. Beats the nose tackle with a 5 on the white die. 2nd and 5. 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 Still a base run set now for Houston. So back into a base run set. Here's a flat pass, left side, empty zone to the defensive card, catch, run. That's going to be first down yardage. Up ahead, outside of the 30, and across the 40 to the 41. C.J. Stroud hit Cade Stover in that zero-man column defensively for 16. Houston now from their 41. Inside handoff. This goes to Mixon, and he's going to get 3. Broncos called run, but it was on the defensive card. 2nd and 7. Looks like the Eagles are forced to punt right after crossing midfield in the NFC game. And that's going to be close. Let's see if they can get that out of bounds. They cannot. Just missed it. 9:18 to go in the second quarter in the NFC. Eagles up 14-3. Vikings with the ball. We'll keep an eye there. But back to the AFC. 3rd and 3 for the Texans. They're at their own 48. 2 tight end set. 3-4 for the Broncos. Broncos do have 3 zero-rated linebackers covering the pass. But with 4 total linebackers, you can cover them up. Here's an inside handoff. Linebacker in zone, and just a yard for Mixon. And it's going to be 4th and 2 for the Texans. Interesting call here. Coach Gobin, 4th and 2. They're at their own 49. Texans leading 14-10. And with that lead, Coach Gobin's going to play it safe and punt this ball. Tommy Townsend's out there, and he's going to angle this one. And let's see. Looks like he's not going to get enough angle. It doesn't get out of bounds, and it's going to be fielded at the 10 by Marvin Mims. He's got a short return. And the Broncos are pinned inside of the 15. 5:24 to go, second quarter. Broncos trail 14-10. They've got the ball. First down play, flat pass to little Jordan Humphrey, and a nice catch and run. Move the sticks as he picks up 10 on his receiver wrong column. It's a good drive starter if you're Denver. Out to the 24. Jaleel McLaughlin now in at tailback. We see what he can do on an end run earlier. But here comes a flat pass. This goes to Marvin Mims. To the defensive card it goes. Mims makes the catch, beats a zero-rated linebacker with a 4 on the white die, and he's got another first down for Denver. Up ahead for 15 yards. Broncos now at their own 39. Knicks 10 of 16 now. Here's a flat pass. Adam Troutman. That's going to be caught, brought down quickly by Al-Shahir, his 4th tackle. 2nd and 6. First half clock winding down now. 3:36 and counting. Second and 6 for the Broncos. Jaleel McLaughlin stays in. Defense crashes run. It's going to be a flat pass. Adam Troutman, receiver opportunity for him. Catch and a good run. That's going to be a first down. Across midfield, brought down at the 46. Pickup of 11. First and 10 now. McLaughlin again, the tailback. 3 wide receivers. 2 running back set. Denver trails by 4, but they're driving. Off tackle, right side. This goes to McLaughlin, and he's going to get 6 yards on the inside. 2nd and 4, 3rd carry for him. Clock now down to 2:24. NFC, Vikings have crossed midfield. First new set of downs. Now back to the AFC action. Here's a key on the running back, but it's a flat pass. Nix is going to little Jordan Humphrey. Nix gets to the defensive card, 6 on the white die, but gets a receiver result. Humphrey makes the catch, and he's got an 8-yard pickup and a first down. Move the sticks. Broncos 1st and 10 at the Houston 32-yard line as we reach the 2-minute warning. This drive began at the 14. 7th play of the drive coming up for Denver. Both teams, all 3 timeouts. We'll see how they play the clock here. 3 wide receivers for Denver. Javonte Williams back in at tailback. Texans guessing run. It's a flat pass. This goes to the tailback, Williams. Nix with a good throw, catch, and that's going to be a nice run. First down yardage. There's a penalty. It's going to be a pickup of 17, and the penalties against the defense. Houston was offsides early, and so they'll just decline that. And the Broncos now into the red zone. Penalty stops the clock. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Denver, their second trip in the red zone. They got the touchdown last time. Javonte Williams stays in. 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Safety is showing blitz for Houston. Nix, here's a quick flat pass. Left side to Lucas Kroll. Receiver opportunity, and Kroll makes the most of that one. Catch and run for 9. 2nd and 1 at the 6. And we'll see if either team is interested in calling a timeout here. I think if I'm the Texans, I sure would. They do not. Clock runs down to 1:22. 2nd and 1 at the 6 for Denver. Full house now. Offensive line, run blocking across 4, 5, 6, 4, 4, 5. That includes the tight end. Safety up close for Texans, showing blitz. They key on the quarterback, Nix. Off tackle goes to Williams. He still loses a yard. 3rd and 2 at the 7. Linebacker in zone. Al-Shahir. Good enough to beat that 4 on the white die. So a big 3rd and 2 now for Denver. They trail by 4. They don't want to settle for field goal right before half. Houston did take their first time out, by the way. Stopping the clock at 1:15. 2 tight ends set for Denver. 4-3 blitz from the Texans. 3rd and 2. Javonte Williams, the tailback. Back to pass. Looking short. Looks like the receiver's doubled by the safety, and it's incomplete. That was going to Cortland Sutton. Good call there, Coach Rudy Gobin. And now he's put the pressure on the Broncos. 4th and 2 at the 7. And the Broncos have decided they're not settling for a field goal here. So a huge play. Minute left and 7 seconds in the first half. Broncos trail by 4. 4th and 2 at the 7. 2 tight ends set yet again. 4-3 blitz showed here from the Texans. This play really is going to determine the momentum. And on 4th and 2, end run. Bo Nix is going to try another one. He's going to get first down toward the goal line and not quite there. Nix, end run, gets the first down, but it's brought down at the 1. It's going to be 1st and goal, and the Texans will take their second timeout. 1 minute exactly left. Texans 1 timeout. Full house set for the Broncos. Here comes a sneak. Bo Nix over the middle, and he's got the touchdown. Broncos are in front. No guts, no glory. Coach Kukafka goes for that 4th and 2 inside the 10. Bo Nix ran for the 1st and goal. And Coach Kukafka gets the touchdown to make it worth the effort. Broncos get the extra point, and with 45 seconds left to go, first half, Denver is in front in Houston, 17-14. Let's check in real quick in the NFC. 3rd and 8 for the Vikings. They're at the 22-yard line of Philly. So a big play here. 3:54 to go before halftime. Vikings trail by 11. So even a field goal could cut it to technically a one-score game. Darnold is out of the shotgun. This is the 12th play of the drive for the Vikings. Drive began at their own 20. Be interesting. I don't want to miss the play, but I want to see how Justin Jefferson's doing. Here's a flat pass. This goes to Aaron Jones. Double up linebacker in the zone. Great call for the Eagles, but the Vikes get the break. It goes to the offensive card. Yak opportunity for the receiver. Caught by Aaron Jones. Beats a linebacker. Heads toward the goal line. And Jones is going to score. Huge touchdown, Vikings. 3:36 to go before halftime. Aaron Jones, with 2 linebackers in the zone, got a yak opportunity set up from Darnold on the quarterback card and got the long game with snake eyes. 22-yard touchdown pass, extra point, up and good. You saw it live right here on the USFFL Red Zone channel. 14-10 now, Vikings trail. Kickoff to the 3, and Gainwell, a nice return. He is all the way out to the 39-yard line, and the Eagles will take over right there with 3:18 to go. Let's take a look and make sure AFC went to halftime. It did. Halftime in the AFC. Broncos up 17-14. Broncos have outgained them at half, 238-153. Only turnover is a Bo Nix interception. Only 3 penalties for 28 yards. Clean game in the AFC so far. Let's get back out and see what's happening in the NFC. We had a 5-yard penalty. Minnesota offsides again. Saw one of those earlier. So Eagles 1st and 5 at the 44. Elimination games in both conferences. Here's a pitch out. Saquon Barkley going around the left edge. Goes to the defensive card and just a 2-yard pickup. Second and 3 because of the prior penalty. Again, Vikings an excellent run defense. Clock keeps running. 2:24 before half. Coach Tim Hayes splits out 3 wide receivers. But another run. Off tackle. Saquon Barkley goes to his card, and Barkley's got good yardage. First down. Inside the 40. Inside the 35 and down to the 33-yard line. Barkley in his wrong column off tackle gets 21. That is a fascinating card, seeing it right now. 1st and 10 at the 33. Barkley on his wrong. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's nothing. You got to get the extremes, but they sure look good. Jalen Hurts, quick flat pass left side to his tailback, Barkley. Keeping that tailback busy. Defense gets pass. It goes to the defensive card. A receiver opportunity. Barkley makes the catch, and he's got 4 yards. Avoided a fumble split roll there. Gets out of bounds. 2nd and 6 at the 29. Clock stops at 1:52. Back to pass. And yet another screen right to the same side again to Barkley, and another receiver opportunity for him, this time even better. Catch and run, first down yardage. Does he get out of bounds? He does. Needed 6, got 8. Oh, a penalty, however. And it's holding against the Eagles, so wipe that play away. 2nd and 16 at the 39. Field goal range for the Eagles out to the 37 at a 2 through 4. So he needs to get to the 32 to make it a good chance field goal at a 2 through 10. Here's an off-tackle run. Defense guesses run. Good call for the Vikings. Barkley goes to his card on right, and he's going to lose 3 yards. So a nice call there, Coach Pete Quagliarini. And that makes it a tough third down situation for Coach Hay. 3rd and 19 at the Minnesota 42. Let's see if either coach wants to take that timeout. They do not. Sort of surprised the Vikings chose not to. Clock runs down to 1:15 to go before half. 3rd and 19 Eagles at the 42 of Minnesota. They are not in field goal range. Splitting out 3 wide receivers are the Eagles. Vikings in a nickel. Jalen Hurts in a pistol. So he can technically run as well if they wanted to. Needing 19 yards. I'm not expecting it. Back to pass. Looking short is Jalen Hurts. And he is targeting his tight end, Dallas Goedert. Hurts on his card, gets a must run, and he's going to get just 2 yards. He might have been targeting that must run. There are 3 first downs available there from 4 and lower, but you got to roll a 7. So 4th and 17. Minnesota takes their first time out, stopping the clock at 1:07. The Vikings have to punt at the Minnesota 40. It looks like they're set up to punt away. Or let's see. No, that's just the formation. Should get a coffin corner here. Wait a second, and they're going for it. So the Eagles take a timeout. They decide instead they want to go for it. So we've got 4 wide receivers split out here for Philadelphia. 4th and 17 at the 40. Interesting play call. 17 is a long way to go. I think I'd kick it. I'd have punted it, but I get it. 4 wide receivers, 1 halfback. Barkley in the backfield. Nickel here from the Vikes. Here's a look in, empty zone. So there's his call. He wants 17 to his tailback, Barkley. Gets the empty zone he's hoping for. I suppose he's got it in his mind. If he doesn't get it, it's a safer play, and I think I like that call. Yak opportunity for Barkley. He's got a good yak call and a good roll, and he's going to get 13. Not enough. It's a turnover on downs, but it does get it to the 27. So if you're going to make that call and go for that in that play, I love the call choice there. Nevertheless, with 1 minute remaining, Vikings take over at their own 27. They trail 14-10. They'll split out 3 wide receivers. AFC action has begun in the second half. Broncos with the ball first at their own 31, 2nd and 9. Let's finish the first half here in the NFC. Here's a pitch out. This goes to Aaron Jones around the edge, and he's going to get just 3 yards. He does get out of bounds at the 30. 2nd and 7. A good first half for Aaron Jones so far. 10 rushes, 63 yards. .52 seconds left in the first half here. I mentioned I wanted to check out JJ and see how he's doing. Here's a short pass and no good, incomplete. Trent Sherfield unable to bring that one in on his receiver right column. Again, they're without Addison until halftime, and I thought that might impact the ability to get passes complete to Justin Jefferson. And indeed, we do not have a single completion yet from Sam Darnold to Justin Jefferson. I can only assume that Coach Hay has been keeping a good double-team eye on that man. 3rd and 7 here. for the Vikings. They're going to try to run it. Pitch out. Aaron Jones gets it on his card. Wrong column. Jones with a good roll. Let's see if he can break containment. And he does. Short gain run, 15 yards for Aaron Jones on 3rd and 7. And that should be a timeout. And it is. So the Vikes now out to their 45-yard line. 37 seconds remain. They have one timeout. Three wide receivers split out on the offense here. Flat pass. Right back to Aaron Jones. He's got the catch. 6-yard gain. Did he get out of bounds? They do indeed say he got out of bounds. So that stops the clock with 30 seconds. Preserves Minnesota's only remaining timeout. 2nd and 4. Now in Philly territory at the 49. Field goal kicker for Minnesota. Good from the 41. He's just 8 yards away. At a 2 through 8 and 12. Here's a pitch out. Aaron Jones going to try to run it again. To the defensive card it goes. He needs a tackle to spring a block. Needs him to be a 4. And it's a good run. First down yardage. And he gets out of bounds again. Nice break for the Vikings. 1st and 10 at the 41. That is at field goal range. 41 is as far as it goes back. At a 2 through 8 and 12. He still has a timeout he can burn if he just wants to line bucket. 3 wide receiver formation, however. Jones still the tailback. Vikes going to play it safe in a nickel. Back to pass. Vikings did guess pass. Or I'm sorry, the Eagles defensively guess pass. Looking short to his tailback, and it's incomplete. Tried to hit Aaron Jones out of the backfield. Sam Darnold couldn't find it in his right column, and with 15 seconds left before halftime, 2nd and 10. Again, at the 41-yard line, 3 wide receivers splitting out again. Vikes still have the one timeout. And I think I'd be looking at getting a couple yards here. Flat pass to Justin Jefferson. He is double-teamed. But it looks to me like he's doubled by a linebacker. And so that's going to not count on the quarterback card. And it's a good thing as the interception split roll was dialed up there by Sam Darnold. Was a 2 through 4 missed. Would have been an automatic pick if that was the free safety. Justin Jefferson still no catches. 3rd and 10, 8 seconds left. And now 3 wide receivers, fullback in the formation in the backfield. That's C.J. Ham. He only has 2 rush attempts. You going to line buck this quarterback? What are we doing here? 3 wide receivers. You're going to throw for this? Feels like he's still playing for a touchdown when I think a field goal would be a mighty nice win here. But we'll see what the call is. Back to pass. Looking short. He is going for Trent Sherfield. The pass is caught. Sherfield has a first down. And I think he's got the timeout. Can he call it in time? He does with 1 second left. Every time I second guess a coach, he makes me look dumb. That's okay. That's the beauty of it. To the 30-yard line now with 1 second on the clock. Will Reichard. 2 through 8 and 12. That kick is up. And it is good. Nice field goal right up before halftime by the Vikings. And at intermission, the Eagles lead at home. It was once 14-3, but now it's 14-13. Setting up an interesting second half. Let's check real quick. Halftime statistics here on this one as we did in the AFC. Very close. Minnesota's outgained them after that drive. 206-204. Turnover-free football in that game. All right. I hear a lot of noise that makes me think a touchdown may have been scored on the other side. Let's take a look. And indeed, Houston. 66-yard TD strike. I just missed it again. Every time I'm ready to come back to the AFC, I have just missed all 3 touchdowns for Houston. Here's an off-tackle, Jaleel McLaughlin of the Broncos. Drive starter and a good one. 15-yard run, McLaughlin Now 5 rushes, 49 yards in this game. Broncos out to the 45. Wow. Houston Texans, a drive that started at their 9-yard line, goes 3 plays, 2 first downs. So he had 2 plays. Each of them got a first down. And then he closed it out after those 2 good first down plays with a touchdown strike to Tank Dell of 66 yards. Second one of the game from Stroud to Dell. 21-17. Houston is back on top. Denver's Luke Wattenberg is hurt on that last play. Here's a deep ball, and no, pressure's in, and a corner blitz gets him. Bo Nix dropped. 10-yard loss, Kalen Bullock. 3rd and 21. Wattenberg of Denver is the center. 4 rated run block, 7 rated pass block. That could be big. 3rd and 21. Here's a look in. Empty zone. That's going to be caught. Javonte Williams. He's got good space. He's got good yardage out across the 50, down to the 40, and all the way down to the Houston 36. Took advantage of the 0-man column. Double sixes on the defensive card, and a 30-yard catch and run to the tailback. Williams bails out the Broncos. Now in field goal range. 1st and 10 at the Houston 36. Back to pass, short to Sutton, and no good. Nix couldn't get it in his wrong column. Got the interception split roll. Avoided the snake eyes. 2nd and 10. 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Now halfway through the 3rd quarter. Again, Houston on top. Back to pass. Nix looking short. Safety was doubling the tailback, but this short goes to Mims, and it's no good. Incomplete. It was incomplete in the 3-man column of the Texans defensive card and found the only automatic incompletion. 3rd and 10 Denver. They're at the 36. From right here, it's a 2-8 field goal. There's some variable risk as the range goes back to the 38, just 2 more yards. 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. It's Javonte Williams. Deep 3-2-6 dime. Here comes the look in to Javonte Williams. This time, the defense kept the linebacker home. Goes to the quarterback card and receiver opportunity. Nothing doing for Javonte Williams. And it's 4th and 10. From the 36, I think we're going to get a field goal attempt. There's some variable risk. 2-8. Will Lutz avoids the variable risk. The kick is up, and it is good. 2-8. He hits the 8. And we have a 1-point game in the AFC, 21-20. 1-point game in the NFC, 14-13. As the NFC now kicks off the second half, Eagles begin possession at their own 30. Let's head back to the AFC, though. We may focus a little more on the AFC as long as it stays close for a little while here, as they're a good 9 minutes ahead on the pace to the finish line. We want to catch that end. And I keep missing the Houston touchdowns. Texans now up again, 21-20. They have the ball at their own 30. 6:18 to go, 3rd quarter. Base run set. All out blitz by the linebackers. Inside handoff, Joe Mixon, and he's good for just 3. Mixon unable to capitalize fully in his wrong column there. 2nd and 7. Boy, Jalen Hurts back over our side on the NFC game. 15 of 17 in the game. 168 and a couple of scores. 2nd down play coming up here for the Texans. They've got 2 tight ends in. Stover and Scholes are the bookends. Safety for the Broncos, showing blitz here. That's P.J. Locke. Back to pass. Caught the defense looking run. Here comes a short pass. He's going to Stephon Diggs to the defensive card. Diggs makes the catch. He's got good space and a long gain. Diggs is loose down the sideline. Let's see if he goes. How far can he go? Inside the 40, inside the 30. He is going to be untouched. It's a house call. C.J. Stroud is on fire. 67-yard touchdown strike. Stroud to Stephon Diggs. Stroud, 10 of 15, but for 277 yards and 3 touchdown strikes. Oh, shit, battery's running low. Got to plug in the PC. I thought it was plugged in. Give me a sec. As that's critical. Sorry, guys. Okay. You might want to plug in your PC, it says. Why does that still say that? I just plugged that in. That is my charging cord. What's the problem? All right, give me a second. We're trying, gentlemen. There we go. Okay. Appreciate your patience. Holy mackerel. So 28-20 Houston. They were up by 1, got the touchdown, and they went for the extra point. Broncos now trail by 8, 5:06 to go. They are 2nd and 10 from their 30. Back to pass, and it's going to be brought down. Sack on the play. Neville Hewitt. Third and 20 for Denver. Texans defense. Now in a 3-2-6 deep dime, full spread formation for the Broncos. Eagles was still with their opening possession. They are now inside the 30 of Minnesota. There's a short pass to Marvin Mims, incomplete. And so the Broncos, 4th and 20, they're going to have to punt from their own 20. 51-yard boot, a good one for Riley Dixon. Underneath it at the 29-yard line is Robert Woods, and he's going to fair catch it right there. Penalty against Denver. He can add that yardage to where he caught that, I believe. Yep, add yardage to the return. And that's what he does. So the Texans with an 8-point lead, 28-20, now have possession, 1st and 10 at their own 34. 3:54 remains, third quarter. AFC wildcard action. Winner heads to Arrowhead. Base run set for the Texans here. First down screen, right side. Linebacker stayed home. Mixon is no good, incomplete. Denver defense in the one-man column. Defensively good enough, 2nd and 10. Now a 2 tight end set from Houston. Broncos guess run. It's a look-in pass right back to Joe Mixon. Dice take us back to the defensive card, though, and he's going to beat a linebacker. Nice catch and run. 18-yard pickup, Joe Mixon across midfield to the 48 of Denver. We mentioned earlier the Broncos, you get the 4 linebacker set that you can use to help defend the flats, but 3 of those linebackers are 0 rated against the pass. So opportunities often to get your short gain on that defensive card, and the Texans did there. So a new set of downs in Denver territory and an inside handoff on first down. This is Dameon Pierce and just a yard. Dice were calling for a blocking back. None was available. 2nd and 9. Mixon now the tailback again. So he was spelled for just one play. Let's get over to the NFC where the Vikings have a 1st and goal at the 9. Back to pass, short. Barkley, touchdown. Jalen Hurts hits Barkley on a 9-yard touchdown strike. And the Eagles are now up by 7. Extra point can give them an 8-point lead. Jake Elliott nails it. So 9:36 to go, third quarter. Eagles 21, Vikings 13. That was the opening drive of the second half for Philadelphia, and a damn good one. 11 plays, 70 yards, 6 first downs, and a touchdown strike from Jalen Hurts to Saquon Barkley. They're up by 8. Vikings will begin their next drive at the 40. We'll keep an eye on that. Let's get back to the AFC. Texans staring at a 3rd and 7 right now. Texans have a 2 tight end set. Broncos in a nickel. Texans pitching it out. Mixon going to try to run it. Goes to the defensive card, and that's not good news for the Texans. Nothing doing. Tackle on the play by Nick Bonito, his 7th. And the Texans will punt from the Denver 45. Coffin corner, Tammy Townsend. Good roll. Let's see. Looks like it's going to be good, and it is. Out of bounds at the 3. Excellent punt for Double T. And the Broncos still down 28-20 in Houston. They take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 3-yard line. Final minute of the 3rd quarter. Here's a look-in pass. Adam Troutman, 6 on the white die. Nice wild card roll there for the Denver offense. And a 13-yard drive starter. Troutman good for that one. His 3rd reception. 7th tackle by Derek Stingley. Now from the 16-yard line. 2 tight end set for Denver. And another look-in pass. This one's going to his tailback, Javonte Williams. Nix on his card, sets up a yak opportunity for his tailback, and nothing doing there. Incomplete. Javonte Williams has a A-rated yak. So a missed opportunity on that yak chart, 2nd and 10. Now 3 wide receivers for Denver, 2 running backs. Bo Nix, 18 of 33 for 252 in this game. Back to pass. Nix looking deep. He's going to nobody in the zone, and it's going to be intercepted. Empty zone, but the defender gets back there, and the Texans have picked it off at the Denver 45-yard line. Let's look at that return. I think the Texans have good interception returns, if I remember. There's a holding call against Denver. I didn't even see the return. Houston declined that holding call, and there's no return, it looks like, or a short one. Bo Nix with the pick on a deep ball. 0-man column, 2 through 5, 11 and 12. The dice just not helping the Broncos so far here in the second half. And Stroud and the Texans already up 8 points, take over at the Denver 36 on the final play of the 3rd quarter. We head to the 4th in Houston. Texans are up on Denver 28-20. So the Texans begin in field goal range. 1st down, flat pass. This goes to Joe Mixon, and he's going to beat another 0-rated linebacker. Linebacker in zone. Mixon ahead for 14. And it's a new set of downs for the Texans at the 22. From right here at the 22, they are now officially in 2-10 field goal range are the Texans. With Kaimi Fairbairn. Base run set for Houston. Flat pass, right side, going after that same 0-rated linebacker. And it's going to be a short gain on C.J. Stroud's card. Mixon again. Big game for him. 1st and goal. Texans down at the 9. As Mixon now goes over the century mark, receiving 8 catches, 105 in this game. 3 wide receivers now split out for Houston. Broncos stay in a 3-4. Here's a pitch out. And it's going to be a 3-yard gain. There is a penalty against the defense, though. So they'll take that. Pocket the down. 1st and goal at the 4. Joe Mixon, 60 yards rushing in this game, averaging 3.8, but over 100 receiving. Here's an off-tackle Mixon on 1st and goal at the 4. Gets his right column, and he's going to lose a yard. Coach Kukofka not going to concede the touchdown that easily. 2nd and goal at the 5. This is a big opportunity for the Broncos. If they can keep them out here, get a field goal, make it an 11-point deficit, so much easier to come back. Defense gets his run. Back to pass. Stroud, short, and he's got Cade Stover. Touchdown, Texans. 4th touchdown pass of the game for C.J. Stroud. Extra point, Kaimi Fairbairn is good. And at the 12:54 mark of the 4th quarter, Broncos now find themselves trailing on the road by 15 points, 35-20. Kick return, Marvin Mims is out to the 30, and the Broncos will begin right there. We go over to the NFC where we have 4th and 1 for the Vikings at the 13-yard line. They're going to settle for a field goal. 5 minutes left, 3rd quarter. Will Reichard from the 13. That's an interesting call. Kick is good. That makes it 21-16. Wow, I think I might have gone for that. As aggressive as people are in this league, 4th and 1, you cut it to a 5-point deficit there. Philly run defense, I'm curious about that. Across the front, nose tackles of 4. Linebackers are pretty good stuffing that run. And the run, they are rated good to excellent. So I get it. Leaves you a lot of work to do, though. 21-16. Eagles on top. They begin the drive at their own 30. Back to pass on 1st down. Hurts. Looking short. Vikings were looking run. So this will be on wrong. Going to Dallas Goedert and incomplete. Hurts hit his interception split roll. It didn't get it, so it'll be 2nd and 10. AFC action. Broncos are already across midfield. Let's come back here. A little bit more at stake. Back to pass. Bo Nix on 2nd and 4. He's looking short. Too much pressure. Going to dump it off now. We're in the flat to Adam Troutman. Receiver opportunity for him, and he can't pull it in, so it's going to be 3rd down and 4. They're at the Houston 36. Field goal would make it a 12-point deficit. I don't know that that's worth it. I don't expect he would kick it. 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Javonte Williams is your tailback. Here comes the screen. Javonte Williams, 1 linebacker is home. Yak opportunity. A-rated Yak. And this time, Javonte Williams makes good on that Yak chart. Inside the 20 and down to the 17. Pickup of 19 on that 3rd down. Broncos into the red zone now. 1st and 10 at the Houston 17-yard line. 3rd trip into the red zone. Broncos are 2 for 2 on touchdowns when they've gotten there. Same with the Texans. Problem for the Broncos is all the touchdowns from the Texans from way outside the red zone. Back to pass. Nix short. Goes to Cortland Sutton. Catch. And he's got space. Touchdown Broncos. 17-yard TD strike. Got the crosshairs on a safety blitz on that short pass 10 reading for the free long gain, and then it's a 17-yard touchdown pass from Nix to Cortland Sutton. And that makes it 35-26. That's a 9-point game. Do you want to go for 2 now or later? I tend to like to go now so I know how much time I need to use. But there's an argument the other way, and the Broncos are going to go for 1. They take the field goal or the extra point, and it's good. And that makes it an 8-point game, 35-27. Nice kick return here from Dameon Pierce. Wow, what a kick return card he has. 6 roll from him and gets a 43-yard result, and the Texans will begin at their own 44. 10-12 left to go in the game. Texans up by 8, and they've got the ball. The argument for Denver wanting to make sure they get it to an 8-point deficit rather than going for 2 when I would have preferred to do it is now with an 8-point lead and 1-score game being guaranteed, you keep the pressure on the Texans. They have to operate now knowing it's still a 1-score game. So you can argue it either way. First down pass, C.J. Stroud is incomplete. Tried to hit his tight end, Dalton Schultz. Couldn't do it. 2nd and 10. Stroud having a huge day. Here's a look-in pass. This is going to Joe Mixon. Defense looking run, so a great opportunity. Receiver result, Mixon the catch and run, and another 14 for him. 9 grabs, 119 for Joe Mixon. And if you're the Broncos, you really got to start looking at doubling him. He's got B-rated yak. And I think the Texans don't have other guys with B-rated yak available, really. So Texans now from the Denver 42. Again, they're up by 8. Fairbairn's field goal range begins right here at the 42. Flat pass, Mixon again. Catch and run, 7 yards. 6 on the white die. Got the low result in that 0-man column defensively, 2nd and 3. And that's now 10 catches for Mixon. By the way, for his 350 yards today, Stroud only has 17 completions. 10 of those 17 are to the tailback. 2nd and 3, handoff to Mixon off tackle, and he's going to get just a yard. Credit to the defensive coach, Kukofka, calling run on that play to stuff that one, 3rd and 2. Two tight ends set here for the Texans. Big 3rd down. 8:06 remaining. Defense calls run. It is. Off tackle. Mixon to the defensive card. And he cannot beat the nose tackle with the 4 on the white die. And it's 4th and 2 at the 34. The Texans are going to go for that field goal. From the 34, this is a 2 through 8, 11 and 12. No variable risk. Kaimi Fairbairn, 2 through 8, 11 and 12. It's up. It's good. And that makes it an 11-point lead for the Texans with 7:12 to go. Broncos are going to need touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal. They've got 7:12 and 3 timeouts. Let's check in quickly in the NFC. Final moments of the 3rd quarter here. 21-16, Eagles on top. They also have the ball. 3rd and 13 at the Minnesota 30. So big play here. Vikings need to stop him here and force that field goal attempt from Jake Elliott. 3 wide receivers for the Eagles. Nickel blitz shown here from the Vikings. Here's a look-in pass. That's the zone where the linebacker stayed home. You're going to Barkley. He's also doubled. Barkley doubled by the safety, so that's going to put 2 men in that zone, I believe. But it goes to the quarterback card. Receiver result, and an 8-yard reception for Barkley in his right column. So I guess it wasn't quite like I thought. 4th and 5 at the 22. And that should get Jake Elliott out here, and it does. From right here, 2 to 10, no variable risk. So a chippy for Elliott to extend to an 8-point lead. On the first play of the 4th quarter, Elliott is good, but there is a foul. 5 yards could be the difference, but no, it's against the offense. That could have been a first down. But back him up, 4th and 10 at the 27. He's got another 2 to 10 shot with no variable risk. 44-yard field goal attempt, Jake Elliott to extend the Eagles' lead to 8. Ooh, and he just got that one through. A little closer, but he got it. Eagles at the 14-24 mark extend their lead to 8 points at home. 24-16 over the Vikings. Touchback Minnesota will begin at their 30. We'll be back there soon. But let's check here. 11-point lead, 38-27 for the Texans. Broncos 2nd and 8 in Minnesota territory at the 48. Here's a look-in pass. Marvin Mims catch and run, and he's got a first down, but a penalty is going to wipe it away. Offense, 5-yard penalty, back him up. 2nd and 13. Denver back on their side now at the 47. 6 minutes left in this one. Denver needs 2 scores. They do have the ball. 3 wide receivers split out. Jaleel McLaughlin's the tailback. And a 3-2-6 deep dime signals to the Broncos that they'll give that end run wrong. And that's got to be tempting, I think, if you're Denver here. They'll take the off tackle wrong. And it's going to be a 5-yard gain to McLaughlin. And it's 3rd and 8. That'll make it a better third down opportunity. Full spread formation here. Texans in a nickel. Broncos 4 for 10 on third downs so far today. Look in pass. Empty zone. Needs 8. He's going to his tailback, Javonte Williams. It goes to the 0-man column, and Javonte Williams, a good catch and run. Good yardage. Inside the 40, inside the 30, inside the 20, and finally brought down at the 16-yard line after a 32-yard gain. Williams, 7 catches, 138 yards for him. Anything your tailback can do, mine can do better. He gets the long gain on his yak chart. So into the red zone from the 16, Bo Nix. Back to pass. Here comes the pressure, and he's brought down. Sack on the play. Azeez Al-Shahir. Loss of 10. 2nd and 20. Boy, some big defensive plays we've been able to see from the Texans, and that puts the Broncos behind the 8 ball here. A field goal can still help them. Again, they're only down 11. They need 2 scores, though. Back to pass, looking deep. Too much pressure, going to run with it. Must run. He's going around the edge. Good yardage, Nix. He's headed toward the goal line. He's going to get a first down. Penalty is against the defense. Unnecessary roughness. So on 2nd and 20, Bo Nix must run. Gets 21 yards. First down, and it is 1st and goal at the 2 for Denver. Inside of 4 minutes now on the clock. 3:54 to go. Full house set, Denver. Four-three blitz here from the Texans. Looks like the Vikings are punting, trailing by 8 over in the NFC. Texans are keying on a running back, but it's a pass. Looking short. Nix to Sutton. He's got him. Touchdown, Broncos. 2nd touchdown connection between Nix and Sutton. Next at 38-33. Broncos going to go for 2 here. Try to cut it to a 3-point deficit. 2 tight end set. 4-3 blitz from the Texans. This is a huge play. 2-point conversion try. And he's back to pass. 3 receivers doubled, but not the one he throws to. The pass is to Von Vele. He's got it. Conversion made. That particular result would have been good on double teamed, but he did get it. 38-35, and we have a 3-point game. Houston will begin now after a touchback at their own 30 with a 3-point lead. And I think we're going to stick right here. There's still almost 12 minutes left. And the Eagles with the ball, 3rd and 8. We'll keep an eye. But back here in the AFC, 3:36 to go. Broncos trail by 3. 38-35. They need a stop. They need the ball back. Texans, 2 tight end set. First down play is going to be a screen right to Joe Mixon. Goes to the defensive card, and he's got a first down catch and run. 13 more for Mixon. 6 on the white die for him. And that gave him the 13 yards. The tailbacks are tearing up the defenses in the flats today in the AFC. Texans now from the 43. New set of downs. Clock keeps running down to 3 minutes. Blocking back set. Broncos guess run. We've got another flat pass. This time we're going to Cade Stover. Nice yak opportunity set up there for him from his quarterback. But Stover cannot help, and it's going to be a 3-yard pickup. And that makes it 2nd and 7. The Broncos will take their first timeout. That stops the clock. 2:42 to go, fourth quarter. Texans 2nd and 7 at their own 46. Broncos with 2 timeouts remaining and the 2-minute warning. 2 tight end set for the Texans. Broncos 3-4. They double the flats defensively, call run, and it is. Inside run, and Mixon brought down quickly. Just a 1-yard pickup. Nice call, Coach Kukofka. Calling run, saved a 5-yard gain. And that sets up a 3rd and 6. Broncos took their second timeout. They have 1 remaining. 2:24 shows on the clock. Critical that the Broncos make a stop right here, right now. 3rd and 6. Texans up by 3. They're looking to convert here and keep running clock. 2 tight end set. Schultz and Stover are the bookends. Mixon is your tailback. Dell and Diggs are split out wide. Broncos in a 3-4. Again, Broncos with 3 zero-rated linebackers against the pass. Back to pass. Looking short. Goes to Tank Dell. That pass is caught. First down, Texans. Broncos doubled 3 receivers, but missed Tank Dell. Didn't really matter unless it was the safety. No, because even that would have put it in the 4-man column. In the 4-man column, it was still complete. So the 2-minute warning has arrived, and the Texans get a new set of downs at the 42 of Denver. Denver can only stop the clock once more. Here's an off-tackle run. Mixon, and he's going to lose 3 yards. Broncos had a man in zone. They burned their last timeout, 2nd and 13. So 2 more snaps of the ball. As long as the clock keeps running and the Texans can run this down to maybe 30 seconds. You set up an interesting situation after that, I think. Here's a screen. This goes to Joe Mixon, right side, attacking a zero-rated linebacker. Mixon gets a receiver result. Nice catch. He got snake eyes inside the 30, inside the 20, inside the 10, and all the way down to the 8-yard line, and that should cinch it for the Texans. 1st and goal. And 2 snaps of the ball winds out the clock in the AFC. Wildcard game. Houston protects their home turf. They beat the Broncos at home, 38-35. A furious comeback attempt from the Broncos comes up a little short, and the Texans advance to the 2nd round, the divisional round where they will travel to Kansas City and play yours truly and the Kansas City Chiefs. Texans outgain the Broncos 392-322. Let's get over to the NFC and see what's going on there. Vikings have a 3rd and 16. It looks like they're going to be staring at another punt. Short completion, 7:48 to go. Vikings trail by 8, and they have to punt it 4th and 13 from their 35. So that is not a good look for Coach Quagliarini. He does have a good defense, so we'll see if he can make that work. We'll keep an eye here. See if either of our AFC coaches show up for postgame. No pressure. I always mean to stress that. I don't want any of our coaches to feel pressure to pop in. That being said, we love it. We love to be able to meet new people, see some faces of the guys through the league, and get an opportunity to see them talk about their own teams rather than me talking about them. Eagles will begin 1st and 10 at their 9, looking to run out clock. They have an 8-point lead exactly halfway through the fourth quarter. First down play, short pass, and no good, incomplete. Vikings were guessing runs, so Hurts got his wrong column, but sometimes that's a blessing in disguise in the wrong column because Hurts has all these must runs that can be dangerous as well in the right column. So it depends on how you want to take your medicine sometimes. That time, Vikings got what they needed in the wrong column, and it's 2nd and 10. Back to pass again. This time the Vikings are looking pass. Hurts scanning the field, looking short. He wants Devontae Smith, goes to the defensive card, and that pass is incomplete. And Hurts flirted with disaster there, got the interception split roll defensively 2 through 5. Missed that, but it is 3rd and 10 now for the Eagles. From their own 9. Just under 7 minutes remaining in this NFC wild card, and you know the Eagles do not want to punt from right here. Back to pass again. Hurts looking short again. He wants that first down. He is targeting A.J. Brown. Gets it on his own card. No good, incomplete. The Vikings hold 3 straight short passes, 3 straight incompletions. Not much time off the clock either. So really kind of the worst of all worlds for Coach Tim Hay. But he makes up with it with a snake eyes punt. 70-yard boot by Braden Mann. All the way back to the 22-yard line of Minnesota. And then bounces from there and adds another 3. So how about a 74 net punt? So it gets that punt all the way from your own 9 inside the opposing 20. And that prompts a whew, W-H-E-W from the Eagles coach in our chat. Looks like our AFC coaches will not be popping in for postgame. We'll check a couple more times, but that appears to be the case, which is just fine. We've got ourselves a good finish here. Eagles are on top 24-16 there, have an 8-point lead. Vikings still have just a 1-possession deficit and the ball. They'll begin at their 18, 6:18 to go. 3 wide receivers on the field. Jordan Addison back from injury. That should make it easier. Addison missed most of the first half, and that made it tough to get Justin Jefferson. Addison and Jefferson both double-teamed on this first down play, but it's an off-tackle run. And Aaron Jones gets a good split die roll, and he picks up 15. Good call by the offensive coach, Quagliarini, and a great roll. 2 through 4 and 12. He got the boxcars. Vikings now out to their 33. Again, 3 wide receivers. Aaron Jones, a good game, 119 on the ground. Here comes a flat pass to Justin Jefferson. Goes to the defensive card with it, and incomplete. Couldn't beat the linebacker with a 4 on the white die. Needed that 5. 2nd and 10. Three wide receivers splitting out again for the Vikings. Eagles will stay in a 3-4. Back to pass. Sam Darnold looks short. He's going for Jordan Addison, but he's going to scramble with it instead. He is going to run toward the first down around the left side, and he's got it. Pick up a 14 on that run by Sam Darnold. Minnesota out near midfield now at the 47-yard line. New set of downs. Clock shows 4:48. Three wide receiver formation again. Aaron Jones has an A-rated jack. Justin Jefferson a B. Here's an off-tackle run. Defense looking pass. They're going to go right back to Aaron Jones. Goes to the defensive card, and he's going to lose a yard. That was a short game with a box with 0 men, but Coach Hay, give him credit, put a man in zone, and that was a big difference. 2nd and 11. Just over 4 minutes remains in this one now. 3 wide receivers, 1 halfback again offensively. Nickel blitz shown here. Blankenship up close to the line of scrimmage. Here's a pitch out. Aaron Jones, defensive card again, and he gets just a yard. 4 on the white die. Guard Blake Brandell is a 4, but couldn't make the block. It's because they had a formation that was a -1 blocking 3 wide receivers. And that cost him. So 3rd and 10. Vikes from their own 47. 3:36 now remaining, and I don't know if they're going to be wanting to punt again on this one. Nickel blitz from the defense. Back to pass. Looking short, going to Jaden Naylor. It's the other 2 guys doubled, so that's a good call for the coach on offense, Quagliarini. Darnold on his card. He's got Naylor, and he's out of bounds. 10-yard pickup, exactly what he needed. Move the sticks. Darnold gets one of 3 catches on his right column. And Naylor got out of bounds, stopped the clock at 3:18. Now across midfield at the Philly 43. Again, the Vikings had a 4th and 1 earlier, but took a field goal. Here's a flat pass. Aaron Jones, good yak opportunity for him, but he's going to lose a couple. Sam Darnold set him up, and Jones has a great yak opportunity, but got the worst roll possible. It's a 2-yard loss. Good news for the Vikings. He managed to get out of bounds. Clock stopped at 3 minutes exactly. 2nd and 12. At the Philly 45. Again, Vikings down by 8. If the Vikings win, they travel to Green Bay for the divisional round playoff. If the Eagles win, they'll be at home and host the Saints. Darnold back to pass. Looks short, going for his halfback. No good. Couldn't hit Aaron Jones. Blankness in the 4-man column defensively. 3rd and 12 for the Vikes. They have 3 timeouts. Both teams do, but you got to figure it's 4-down territory. I mean, if you get a sack, maybe not. Sam Darnold, his short pass right reads plus 10, 11, and 12. It's 3rd and 12. You might consider a flat, even a look in, get some yards, make sure that short pass right on 4th down is going to be enough. Back to pass, looking short. Sam on his card, and he's got a 10-yard completion, and that leaves work to do. So Coach Quagliarini does it in the opposite order, gets that short pass now, and now he's got the short work. 4th and 2 at the Philly 35, and he's got to go for this. Blocking back set. Tailback is Aaron Jones. 3-4 shown here by the Eagles. Inside handoff. Linebackers there. Defense gets pass. Jones on his card. Hits the 5 on his card and can't get the first down. It is the only result that would stuff Aaron Jones on that play. Terrible break for the Vikings and Coach Quagliarini. And the Eagles will take over up 8 at their own 35. 2:06 remains, so that does mean an extra timeout for the Vikings defense, as that happened on the plus side of the 2-minute warning. Terrible, heartbreaking break if I'm the Vikings coach. Absolutely everything except that 5 fumble roll in Aaron Jones' wrong column is a 2-yard gain and a first down or more. Eagles now 1st and 10. Flat pass on 1st down. They're going to A.J. Brown. Defense gets run. Receiver opportunity, no good, incomplete. A.J. Brown got double sixes, flat pass wrong. And it's empty. 10 on wrong is a long game. There are only 2 incompletions. 2nd and 10. So the Vikes, a good break on 1st down there. We're at the 2-minute warning. Eagles at home. They're up by 8, 24-16. Defense guesses run again on 2nd and 10. Flat pass. Right back to the flats. We're going to Saquon Barkley. And it goes to the defensive card again. Receiver opportunity and no good. Barkley hits the 7 on his card wrong. It's the only incompletion. So twice the Vikings are calling run, and a flat pass is set up in the wrong column for A.J. Brown, and Saquon Barkley comes up empty back-to-back. 3rd and 10. Vikings with a chance to get off the field quickly. And here's a look-in pass. Linebacker stayed home. So the Eagles not playing for that first down automatically, and it's incomplete. Clock stops 1:45. So the Eagles now have to punt from their 35. Almost nothing came off the clock. Eagles just said, I couldn't have played that worse. I have to agree, as the Vikings retained all 3 timeouts. Oh, coaches are laughing. I like the coaches' comments in the chat. Like when we can have a good time, even with everything at stake in the 4th quarter of a playoff game. So Eagles punter, man, comes out to punt. Boy, that's a couple drives here in the 4th quarter when the Eagles are trying to run out the clock that they've First one of those, they went 3 passes that were short, missed them all, and punted with no time off the clock. And now here, 3 flat passes, no time off the clock, and punting. And here's another good punt by man, 49-yard boot. It's going to roll all the way down to the 5. 1:37 left in this game. The Vikings punter has gone ahead and put his coat on. He's done for the day. You can't punt anymore. You're 95 yards away. You're the Vikings. You have all 3 timeouts in 1:37. You need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Eagles are dropping into a deep 3-2-6. That signals the run is yours to have. 3 wide receivers. 1 halfback. Darnold out of the shotgun. Eagles don't have a lot of blitzing. I guess we do have a 10-rated linebacker out here, Nolan Smith, and a 12-star one. They do have linebackers. I was incorrect about that. Flat pass goes to Josh Oliver, and he's got it, just a 2-yard gain, so not much, and he doesn't get out of bounds. So I'll bet they wish he had missed that, and they might burn their first time out. You may as well. I mean, you could run the hurry up and save the timeout for later, and they do indeed burn a timeout. Vikings with 2 timeouts left. This game has 90 seconds. Eagles trying to hold on. They're up by 8. 2nd and 8, Minnesota from their 7. Three wide receivers. Again, Darnold out of the shotgun with Aaron Jones beside him. Vikes show a nickel this time. Or I'm sorry, the defense shows a nickel this time. Here comes a short pass. Darnold looking to his tight end, Hawkinson. The wideouts were doubled, so a good call there from Coach Quagliarini. Picking the right guy to throw to. But we got a flush. We're in the flat. This goes to Aaron Jones. He's got the A-rated yak, so that's dangerous. And it's going to be a receiver result, and it's going to be a 5-yard catch and run. So not what you really needed. And again, the running back fails to get out of bounds. C.J. Gardner-Johnson wrapped him up before he could get out of bounds. And so 3rd and 3 at the Minnesota 12. And they run the hurry up. They still have 2 timeouts. 1:07 left in this game. And at some point, you got to take your shot. Eagles are in a nickel. You've got 3 wide receivers out there. You really can't double that deep zone. I'd take your shot here on 3rd and 3. We've got a screen pass instead. Linebacker did stay home to the defensive card, and that's going to be no good. Aaron Jones got it on his card, flat pass right, then it's incomplete. And with exactly 60 seconds left in this game, Minnesota, do or die, 4th and 3 at their own 12. They'll split out 3 wide receivers. Darnold this time under center, and Aaron Jones behind him. And we see a nickel again from Philly. Back to pass on 4th down. Darnold scans the field looking short. He wants to get Jalen Naylor, but too much pressure. He's dumping it off. Needs 3 yards. In the flat. He's going to Jordan Addison. Catch, run. Good yardage for Addison. 1st down and more. Out across the 30 and out to the 35. Taking advantage of the 0-man column defensively and converting that 4th down all the way out to the 35-yard line. He does not get out of bounds. Vikings have 2 timeouts, and I think they've got to burn one here. You could spike it at 45 seconds because it's 1st down, and they do. That'll stop the clock, 45 seconds. 2nd and 10. Vikings at their own 35. And now the Eagles will drop back into a 3-2-6 deep dime. They kept them both deep. Back to pass. Darnold looks short. Defensive card we go. No good. Tried to hit Jalen Naylor. And that runs the clock down to 37 seconds. You do have 2 timeouts. I mean, getting in field goal range does you nothing. A long gain maybe doesn't do you enough. I think you're going to need to throw long. It's 3rd and 10. Or maybe you play for the 1st down, then you got to throw long on every play, but you've got to get a 1st down and start chucking it. Back to pass, looking short, and it's a defender reading, no good. Tried to hit Addison on a short pass, and Quinyon Mitchell broke it up, standing up to that 5 on the white die. So with 30 seconds left, 4th and 10, Minnesota at their own 35, and once again, a do or die down for the Minnesota offense. Three wide receivers split out. 3-2-6 deep dime by the defense. Fourth and 10. Back to pass, looking short. He's going to Justin Jefferson. Goes to the defensive card. Caught. Jefferson gets just enough. And he gets out of bounds. Saves 2 timeouts. And it's 1st and 10 now. Minnesota from their 45. 22 seconds left. They have 2 timeouts. But with just 22 seconds, you're 55 yards away. I think it's time to start chucking it deep. Darnold leading his long pass right. Long gain. 3 wide receivers. Here's a short pass. This goes to Addison on the defensive card, and it's going to be incomplete. Again for Addison. Defender XR15, and once again, Quinyon Mitchell. Another big stop. Now 15 seconds remains. Darnold's long gain on long pass right is on 5. It's doable. 3-2-6 deep dime. Pick your receiver and throw deep. The receivers should all be able to go all the way per league rule. Full spread formation. That's a good way to get 4 opportunities on the field for sure. You got to figure they're going to double Jefferson. Although if you have to keep 2 men in the zone deep, you really can't get a receiver result. Assuming you're on the right column, you're not going to get it on the quarterback card. And with 2 men, you're not going to get it on the defensive card. So maybe Jefferson's not so dangerous. Back to pass looking deep. 2 receivers doubled, but not Jalen Naylor. Opportunity for the Vikings, but it goes to the defensive card. 2 men in zone and no good, incomplete. 3rd and 10, 8 seconds remains. So we got 2 more Hail Marys coming up. Darnold with a spread formation. 3-2-6 dime for Tim Hay and the Eagles. The Minnesota Hopes rest on maybe 2 more Hail Marys. Back to pass looking deep. Picks the correct receiver again, Jalen Naylor. Darnold cannot get it on his card, and it's incomplete. And that leaves just 1 second, 4th and 10, and barring a penalty, this is the final play of this NFC wildcard game. Dog's crawling into my lap here. Fourth and 10. One more Hail Mary. And if the Eagles can defend it, they'll advance to the divisional round and will host the Saints. Back to pass, looking deep. He's got another opportunity. Right back to the defensive card. Incomplete. No penalties. Game over. The Philadelphia Eagles played defense in the second half and win this game. 24-16 at home over the Vikings. Eagles led at halftime by 14-13, and in the second half allowed the Vikings just 3 points. Coaches exchanging well wishes. Minnesota outgained Philadelphia in this game 380-319. Aaron Jones actually did better than Saquon Barkley. Barkley a little better receiving. Coach Hay did a good job on Justin Jefferson, just 3 catches, 30 yards. Addison missing the first half was a big factor in that one. There was no receiver on either team that got over 100. Turnover-free football. Minnesota had twice as many penalties. Outrushed the Eagles 146-80. It's a good game. 3 touchdown passes for Jalen Hurts as the Eagles advance. So a lot of talk about the NFC North Division, bringing 4 playoff teams, but 2 of them have been eliminated. I'm not sure if everybody realized this, but we'll go ahead and let's get back to the studio regardless at this point. Not sure if everybody realized this, but let's get that hat on. Oh, morning hair. All right. So the AFC North took 14, all 4 teams to the playoffs. If the 3 wild card teams had won, you'd have all 4 teams in the divisional round. So that would have been amazing. I'm confident that's never happened in real life. It didn't happen here either. 2 of them lost. The Bears got beat. And today the Vikings got beat. And speaking of the Vikings, we do welcome our good friend Pete Quagliarini to the broadcast. Pete, tough loss. How are we doing today, buddy?
I'm good, Tim. How you doing? I enjoyed listening to your broadcast. I was listening to it while I was playing, so it was
Thank you. I'm just
very
turning
well
you up
done.
because I can't hear you yet. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you. Yeah, hearing you just fine, buddy. Go right ahead.
Gotcha. Well, I was listening to your broadcast. Very well done. You're an excellent play-by-play guy. So
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's awful.
I enjoyed it. It was a tough game. First half, I wasn't getting a lot of rolls. Had a lot of penalties. Everything I did was kind of not right. Like I'd stop him and he'd get the first down, or he'd hit a long gain and a long drive, a long play. So that's why I went for it with the field goal, because I wasn't really getting a lot of rolls, so I wasn't feeling it today. I know you questioned that call. Thinking back, maybe I should have went for it for the touchdown.
You're talking about the 4th and 1 now?
Yeah, the 4th and 1. But I wasn't getting a lot of rolls, so I know I could keep them close. My defense was playing pretty good for the most part.
Yeah.
But the offense, I couldn't. I lost Jordan Addison in the first half, pretty
Yeah, I
early in
wanted
the
to
first
ask you
half.
about that because I have to cut back and forth between two games. I'm not catching it all in real time, right? And one of the things I wondered is when you went to halftime, Justin Jefferson had 0 receptions, and I was just guessing that part of that's related that when you get Jordan Addison out and the defense, your other receivers are just not that scary. And so, did you see a lot of double teams on
Yeah, he
Jefferson
was.
in the
Yeah,
first half? I didn't watch the tell.
yeah. Tim played a great game. Yeah, he was double Jefferson almost every play. I think
Yeah,
pretty much.
I would too if Addison's out.
Yeah. So I was trying to throw to Aaron Jones more, and Hawkinson, but Hawkinson was getting covered by the sixth free safety, so I was reluctant to throw to him a lot. Um, I ran the ball pretty well, and I think I outgained him in offense, in time of
You
possession. But
did 380 to 320, something like that.
yeah, but the penalties killed me. I got a lot of penalties, especially in the first half, that kept a lot of his drives going. Uh, so
Yeah,
so I was playing against the dice, the refs, and without Jefferson. So
yeah,
I was quite short-handed at that point, but it was a great game, and it was a fun one. You hate to lose, but if you have to lose, at least it's to a good guy. Tim was very gracious winner, and
yeah.
I enjoyed the game.
Let me ask you. Of course, you've been in this league for a while now. You've previously played the Titans a long time. This is your first year with the Vikings. Their situation has sort of changed. This year. With Darnold moving on. How do you feel about the Vikings going into next year?
I wish they would have kept Darnold. Look where he's
Yeah.
at now. They may be in this. They may have been in the Super Bowl. Who knows, right? Um, tough, tough call.
Well,
But
look who we have here. Tim
Hey,
Hay, welcome to the
hey, Tim, how
broadcast.
you doing? Congratulations.
good. Thank you. Good game. That was kind of blew that down the stretch there for a minute. Thank God for my punter.
I thought you felt bad for the first half bad calls I was getting. That's the second half you want to give a little back. So that's what I
No,
was. You were being generous on that. But
no.
great game.
Barkley scares me getting keyed. Yeah, he's really good on the edges, but in the middle, oof.
It's
Yeah,
funny.
I noticed his card like on wrong off tackle. I made a comment during the broadcast that he's got these huge gains at the top and bottom,
Yeah,
but on off tackle wrong, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, just nothing.
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
think
So
they
it's a
gave
lot of
did him
high
justice
risk,
with
high
that card.
reward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I got on. I made a mistake in here somewhere. I was unable to. I didn't push the file. Did you?
Not yet. Not yet. I'll do it right now.
I messed up something. It's first time in the playoffs, so I don't know what the heck I did wrong.
It's okay because I covered the whole game. I can even push the file if I needed to. So
Yeah,
All right, let me-
we're
the
good
whole
there.
year. What's that?
So I can do it. We're good on that. We'll get the file pushed.
Okay.
Tim,
All right.
if you have just a couple minutes, talk
Sure.
about the game that we didn't see because we went back and forth with two games. Talk about what kind of worked for you and how it compared to what you were planning and what you ended up doing.
Well, I ended up throwing it a lot because that's where the vulnerability, and I think in the Viking defense is their run defense is pretty good. And then with Barkley and those middle numbers, it's just with Barkley, if I have a defense that's a little weak in the run, then I can get away with some of those middle numbers. But so I just threw the ball a lot, and I got lucky and hit it. This was a game of lucky rolls and unlucky rolls at times. Yeah, and it was bad. It could have gone either way.
I thought I was going to get blown out. And Tim, I'll tell you, in the first half, I said, I just want to keep this game close. I don't want to be embarrassed. That's how bad some of the
nobody
rolls were
wants to be
getting.
embarrassed in a playoff game, but it can happen. I don't care what the matchup is.
Oh,
I've been embarrassed every year by somebody. It just happens.
Yeah, I was like, I just want to be embarrassed. So like, how did this guy get in the playoffs and he's giving up 30 points in the first half?
Well, you were
We're all
snake
gonna have
bit in that
games
first
where
half.
everything goes wrong.
You were snake
But-
bit on a few of those calls, and then down the stretch, there were a couple big penalties that really hurt you.
Yeah, I was trying to tell Tim that I think the penalties, I think I had double the penalty to you, and they came at really bad times.
They did.
Yes. I think I had a long gain on that one play. It was a fourth down play. I don't know if you saw it,
Yep.
Tim. He called a run. I think it was 4th and 2 or 4th and 3.
Yeah.
And I threw a long pass, and I got it 31 yards, and a penalty nullified it. So,
Yep.
yeah, that kind of like killed me on that one. But,
Well, I have to admit, I was kind of smiling on this end of it, but this game is funny though, because you can play in a game. Most of the games I play in, it doesn't matter. There's very rarely a runaway. There's a ebb and flow to this game that that just always you have to always pay attention.
Yeah, it was good. It was tight at the end, and a couple of your punts. I think you had 270-yard punts. Not one,
when
but
I
think
threw
two.
the ball 3 times at my 8, yeah, and got bailed out by a 70-yard punt and another 12-yard
roll, 11-yard roll. I'm like, he hit a 2, and I think I rolled a 4. So I was like, oh my god, or I rolled an 11. I go, this drive was not meant to be.
That changed the game because it put the clock in play.
It did, and I was back at the 5, I think, right?
You were on your 5, yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty far back, so it just, a couple of these changes. If I'm in the 20s and 30s, a little different way you can manage the clock. Yeah. Again, yeah. I probably should have went for the 4th and 1, but then again, you came down and scored, I think, a field goal after that, so it probably wouldn't have really.
That was early though, right? That was the 3rd.
It was the 3rd quarter. Yeah, it was 3rd quarter. So,
and the way we were moving the ball, it seemed we'd be fine.
Yeah, that's what I thought, and I don't think we scored after that, did we? Or
no, the second half was kind of ugly.
Yeah, I think you scored maybe 3 points. So I felt my defense can hold. That's why I took the 3. Yeah, I don't like to give up points in a tight game, in a playoff game, tight game, like that. So I'd rather take the points there. But it is what it was.
It's a tough playoff. I don't know. The AFC I'm not paying as much attention to, but that NFC playoff field is tough. It's going to be, I think the AFC is too. It's just there are a lot of teams. Any team could win this thing.
Yeah, it was. NFC. I think it was a overtime game. Detroit beat Seattle. Tim, is that correct?
Yeah, it wasn't overtime, but Detroit did beat Seattle by 11 or so, 9 or 11, one of the two.
Oh, it was. I thought it was a closer game than that, but it was a closer game.
But every team in there's got there's some tough parts of every team left.
Yeah, you got Packers who only lost 2, the Lions who were 13-4. You're 13-4, and the Saints are 13-4. You got a bunch of Titans in that Final Four right now.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It'll be a fun playoff.
And they're all a little different too.
Yeah,
we're all a little bit
stylistically
different.
It'll be a lot of fun to kind of watch those matchups come to head. Tim, before I let you go, I want to make sure I don't miss an opportunity. First time I've had a chance to see you, meet you, say hello. As far as I recall, maybe you've been on a broadcast before. So if you don't mind, have you been on a broadcast before?
Yeah, a long time ago last year. And I was, it's the first time I've been in the playoffs, so nobody notices.
Maybe so.
If
you don't mind, I'm curious where you live, what you do for a living, and also from a Stratomatic history, how long you've been playing, how long you've been in this league. I think you played the Cardinals before. Just kind of tell me that kind of background of you, if you don't mind, so we can kind of know you a little bit.
Yeah, I started in with the Cardinals, and that was you had to gamble every play on defense. The offense was actually okay, but it still was kind of you had to gamble and be lucky a lot. And then I switched to Dallas, and then Bruce wanted out of Dallas. He wanted Dallas, and so we just swapped franchises, which ended up working out pretty well for me this year.
Yeah.
I've been playing this game since I was a kid. I live in Saudi Arabia, and I grew up here. And there was a league where we had, I didn't play in it, my father did. And you'd go in and you'd bid on teams and they'd buy them. This was in the 70s. And we had these huge wooden boards that were about 4x4. And so they played on these wooden boards that were painted with all the, the positions and everything. So it was a big deal here.
That's awesome.
And then Scott Schumacher and I, we played together in high school all the time on the board game. And so I played it for a while, but then there was a long hiatus, and then Scott and I kind of got back into it, and he's the one that got me in this league. So,
man, I think I want to check into that. I want to find out all of the connections like that, where you've got a guy in this league that you played in high school. Yeah, I think that's so cool, and I'd like to. I've heard other stories like that. I'd like to make some kind of a catalog of knowing who all those connections are in this league. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Rich Piers and I, the San Francisco owner, played in high school too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a guy I played in high school who showed me the game. He's on the wait list, and I'm hoping to get him in future years here. So love to see him join.
I think that would be my dream come true. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
But
Greg,
over
shout out
here,
to you if you're listening. He's heard a few broadcasts. If you're listening,
Yeah.
Greg, I still hope to get you in here soon. Get you going. So
yeah.
congratulations on the win, Tim. That was a good effort. And you're off to a home game again, and you're going to be hosting the Saints. Any thoughts about playing them? You didn't play them in the regular season, right?
I did. We played the first game not the first game. We played I played Green Bay the first game.
Beat them.
I beat Green Bay. Yeah, it was tight game, right? It was early in the year.
Do you remember what the score was on that one?
He's a well-coached. I mean, that's a well-coached team. I talk about an overachieving team, so yeah, no, I don't like I said, every game I think I play this game better when I'm nervous, so I just don't want to give up 40 because down the stretch I was giving up a lot of points, and I don't know if when you play this game, do you guys there are times when I get in stretches where I just get discombobulated on defense and I can't call anything right. and I was like that down the stretch. So I want to get out of that.
I feel like I've struggled so much more with that exact problem offensively. That's just me. I've thrown a lot of interceptions where people are reading me correctly this year, and I have to own that.
Well, right. The more you play in this league, the more people get to, you play people, the more they get to know who you are. Like Scott and I have some games where we're calling each other right. It's nonstop.
Yeah. So. Anthony and I and Jess and I have probably played, 30 times each easily. We play a lot in the off season too. So, they know me pretty well. And you're right. That can sometimes lead to those tough moments where they've picked your pocket easily. So.
Right. Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Tim. It was a great game. If I had to lose, I'm glad I lost to a great guy. And Tim Irvin, thank you for everything you do for this league. I really enjoy it. You do a great job. And look forward to next season.
It looks like I'm working hard. The secret to it is this not work. I love this game. Love it since I was a kid. And I found the perfect league. And then I thought it was going to fold. And I'm like, no, I need to take over. I hated doing it because I didn't have time.
Was this league close?
Yeah, no, what happened was this league was run for 20 years by a guy I met in a different league entirely, a baseball league. His name's Jason Goldberg. Our Hall of Fame is named after him, Jason Goldberg Hall of Fame, because the infrastructure and the success of this league was not built by me. It was all built by him. And but I joined as a player maybe 8 years in, and about 18 or so years in, he got tired and decided he needed to quit. But what he did that was unfortunate was he told us all as the season was, we were wondering, why are we not starting yet? He's a little behind. So when he finally told us he was done, it was very easy for the league to fold because we were already behind. And we did lose 2 or 3 coaches as we waited to see if anybody was going to step up and pick it up. And I was one of several who said, I'm happy to help if somebody will take the lead. Nobody took the lead. And then when I saw people dropping, I was afraid we were going to lose it. And I just wasn't ready to lose this league. It was too good of a thing that Jason Goldberg built to let it go. So I've been running it since. And I think we're doing real well. We're growing and we're certainly doing well as a group, I think.
You're doing a great job, Tim.
You do a great job running it. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet, guys. Thank you.
All right. At the angle I'm at, though, I got to ask, I can't see that hat. So what's on that hat?
This is a Dodgers hat.
Okay,
which
thank
is not
you very
my
much.
allegiance.
I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah.
Oh,
what?
It's mine.
Oh, really?
Well, Scott grabbed the Rams. The day he wants to give them up, I'll take them, even if they're horrible. I don't care. But I'm a Rams. I'm an LA fan through and through.
You're an LA guy through and through, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you'll have to work that out with Scott.
Yeah, no, he already knows. The day he doesn't want that team,
Well, you just got to make sure that when you meet him with your Eagles, you remind him that you don't like that he has that team. That's what I would do. I'd make sure that I'm beating the Rams whenever I play them.
I'll tell you what I've learned with Scott, and if he's out there, I don't know, but we don't talk we don't talk smack before the game because we know, it's gone bad at one way or the other for each of us. So a lot of years there.
Yeah. I cannot claim to be level-headed when things are going wrong. It doesn't always work that way. So
yeah,
I hear you.
Yeah.
Well, we'll
Well,
see
thank
you
you,
in the
guys.
divisional round. Good luck against the
Take care,
Saints.
guys.
Thanks
Be
for
good.
stopping
Thanks,
by
Pete.
as well. All right.
Be good. Good luck. Good luck,
See.
Tim. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Take care. Bye. Hey, good luck,
Gentlemen,
Tim.
have a great day.
Good luck next
All right.
round.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Maybe I'll see you in a few weeks. All right. So that's going to do it for our broadcast here this morning. Things went really well. 2 games. The Eagles hang on 24-16. They beat the Vikings. They'll advance to the divisional round, host the Saints. And in earlier action, we had the Texans hold on 38-35, beat the Broncos. They will head off to Arrowhead to face yours truly and the Kansas City Chiefs. That's going to do it for this broadcast and all of the first round games of the playoffs. Be looking for your file and wrap up from me as well as we head to the second round. This is your commish signing off.